And of course, we have 11:30 in Super St. Lucia and Eastern Caribbean. Hey, let's get for Family Matters. Remember, from earlier o'clock, I did mention that Family Matters will be on this morning. All right. Of course, the first for 2023. All right. So keep it locked. We're going to be back with some more vibes right here on your town's finest Super 88.5 FM. Your voice, your light.
A relationally healthy family is an integral foundation for a strong community and nation. The many social ills that plague our island need to be comprehensively addressed to stem the tide of depravity and bring about resilient change and healing. With this in mind, 88.5 introduces an in-depth program called Family Matters. Family Matters is a 1-hour program airing every Tuesday morning at 11 a.m. with Human Services Family Casework. Listen in for insights and detailed information on core topics such as the disciplining of the child, the integral involvement of men and the empowerment of women in the family, parenting and associated laws, child and drug abuse, domestic violence, and teenage pregnancy. Call in to air your views and make your contributions on 459-7885 or 459-7888. Family Matters on 88.5 Soufriere FM.
And of course, it's the first for 2023. She paid it a visit. Well, she visited for her first time last year. But she's here this morning. Of course, she's going to be the one hosting the show from today on. All right. Of course, I want to thank Mr. Edward for doing an amazing job. He was good. Although he's always kind of nervous, especially when he started asking him. But big up yourself, Mr. Edwards, man. Good morning to you. Should be locked on. Hey, folks, of course, this morning here with me is our new host for the show. She goes by the name of Miss Bodier Met. Every time I see that name, I'm like, what does it mean again? Bodier Met, the
God is the master.
Right. Bodier Met.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. Anyway, morning, of course, welcome. I know that your first for 2023. Well, your first here. So, again, just want to welcome you to the show, Family Matters. So, say hello to the fans, say hello to, a lot of persons have been asking about the show, like, what happened? Okay, folks, so we're back on schedule, we're back on track with a new host. Good morning to you. Welcome inside Super 88.5 FM.
Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Renita Bodimet, and I am the social worker for Soufriere. Yes, and of course, as you know, replacing Mr. Edward. Yes, thank you for tuning in, and hopefully that I could shed some light on some burning questions and issues that you may have.
Okay, so just before we touch on what you have on the agenda, tell us a little bit about yourself quickly, in a nutshell. Yes, in a nutshell.
Yes. Well, okay. I have been a teacher for 19 years, was a teacher for 19 years. I worked especially with special education children. I absolutely love them. And of course, I have a great passion for social work, and I have been in the field for roughly, say, 4 years now, from 2019, if my maths is correct.
Right.
So, yes. So that's, and I'm actually from Choiseul.
Oh, well, plenty of Choiseul people. Big up yourself, Choiseul Passy.
Yes.
All right. Of course, again, like I've been mentioned, folks, she's going to be here with us as the host for the show, Family Matters. And I know she's going to have a good time. She's going to have a great time. I hope you're not nervous there.
Maybe a little.
No need to be. Although most persons are coming for the first time, they always... I'm going to give you 2 minutes. In 2 minutes, you feel as if that's your place. You've been here from ages. All right? Anyway, let's move along. On the agenda this morning, we're here to discuss
this morning, I'd like to talk about our roles as social workers. Who is a social worker? And what do social workers do? Because many times you find when a social worker approaches someone, they'll be like, oh, you're coming for my child. And this is really a misconception that many people have, that social workers only come to take people's children away.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. So this is why I want to elaborate this morning.
I would love for you to elaborate on that.
What is a social worker and what our roles are.
Because I see you all as counselors. I definitely knew you all to become a take people's children.
No, we're not counselors
Okay.
actually.
Again, thanks for that. So here go. So go in depth.
Yes, indeed,
Mm-hmm.
I will.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to.
Right. Go ahead. The
Okay.
floor is yours.
So, okay. So, of course, I'm going to answer the question of who is a social worker.
Mhm.
Okay. So, a social worker is somebody who's trained, of course, a professional, and we're devoted to helping vulnerable people. And when we say vulnerable people, we mean persons who cannot help themselves, children, the elderly, who we
Okay.
claim as vulnerable people, and community works through challenges they we face in everyday life. Social workers practice in a wide variety of settings, united in their commitment to advocating for and improving the lives of individuals, families, groups, and societies. Okay, the roles of social workers.
Mm-hmm.
While there is a diverse array of settings in which social workers practice, together social workers share the commitment to promote social welfare. And social welfare means a system of procedures related to the provision or grant of social services, social benefits, emergency social assistance, and other social assistance, the purpose of which is to support the ability of a person to cope independently, work and participate actively in social life, at the same time preventing social problems from arising or deepening at individual, family, or social levels. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
We help people from all backgrounds overcome the individual challenges they are facing. We advocate for social and economic justice for members of diverse communities.
Right.
Okay, so we look at social justice. We help persons who are challenged, of course, and again, who are oppressed, who are challenged, and especially we said again, the vulnerable members. And as I've said, the vulnerable members are the children and the elderly persons in community, in society. Sorry. Okay, and today I'm going to look at especially what is my role as a
As a
social
social
worker,
worker. Very nice.
because we have social workers are placed in different capacities. We have different kind of social workers, where we have medical social workers who are found in the hospitals. We have psychiatric social workers who works with mental health.
Mm-hmm.
We have family case workers.
Yes. And I think
Okay.
that's where you fall in, family caseworker.
Yes, and I am a
Right.
family caseworker, and I am going to elaborate as to my role.
Definitely.
Okay,
Definitely.
so let me just let you know exactly what my role as a
A family
family
caseworker.
caseworker is. Okay, so my role as a family caseworker is to provide social services and assistance to improve the social and psychological functioning of children and their families, and to maximize the family well-being and the academic functioning of children. We may assist parents arrange adoptions and find foster homes for abandoned or abused children. In schools, we address such problems as teenage pregnancy, misbehavior, and truancy. Of course, truancy being
Mm-hmm.
that the children are not at school. And sometimes we may advise teachers as to how to go ahead to deal with the problems that
These
I've
issues when
mentioned
they're okay.
that
Very
before.
nice.
Okay, so per family caseworkers work along with the police, the schools, the courts, different places like probations, and other agencies like social transformation, the youth officers, sports officers, etc. Because as I came in here to Sufre as a social worker,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be doing a lot of networking. And doing networking would be meaning would be working along with the schools,
Police
so the police
officers,
officers finding what programs are
churches.
there, right, at the
Mm-hmm.
churches and so on. So
Mm-hmm.
finding what programs are available within the schools, within the communities, and so on, so that we could mesh to find out what where we can help children.
Mm-hmm.
Because what you find is that you say that idle hands make mischief.
True.
So you find when children are just there not doing anything and
Mm-hmm.
not actively engaged, that they would engage in a lot of mischief. And also, if they're coming from broken homes,
Mm-hmm.
we want to find programs that could guide them. One of the things that I'd love to work with in Sofre is to have a parents program.
Nice.
And within that parenting program, I'd love a lot of, especially the young men, the fathers, to come in, because you find a lot of homes are missing fathers. And because of that, you find the children are acting up. Mothers do not have the support because the majority of cases we have are boys.
Oh,
Okay, a lot of
so how
boys.
do you go about executing such a task?
Such as
In
in working.
the parents working with the parents, what the initiative you want to bring up.
Okay, so I have actually spoken with persons from the schools, the the youth the youth worker for the region, and we're going to take it from there, because what we want to do, we want to encompass the parents, to have different persons come in, resource persons to come in to speak with the parents, especially on discipline.
Right.
We want to speak with them on how they work with children, in terms of even the way you speak to your children, even the way you show love to your children, and so on. And we also want to have one part of the parent program. We also want to bring in entrepreneurship, where we want to have persons to come in to speak to them how to start their own business, get themselves gainfully employed, because we know that employment is one of the core areas where a lot of issues stem from, unemployment. So we want to have that. I also want to have to see a career day, or career path, where I'm hoping to invite certain business persons to come on board, where they could hear persons who are unemployed and try to see whether we could get some employment through that for them, almost like a business expose or
Okay.
whatever.
Sounds nice.
Okay, so it's some of the plans I have. Actually, I'm not sure if I can execute it. I
Right.
have big dreams, but
Yeah.
I'm going to try.
That why I love what's on your syllabus, right? I do
Y-
like what's on your syllabus. But in
Yes.
everything, time is of a factor. Because you have, while you might put that at a certain time, persons might not be able to attend, maybe because of work or who knows, some unforeseen circumstance. So all those things need to taken into consideration.
Definitely. We're looking to do it maybe after work,
Mm,
so that it would give persons
ample,
time
ample time.
to come too. And of course, I always say, if you want to make yourself available for something, you will make yourself available. So we're trying to work around time, because I leave work around 4:30. So I'm hoping at least we could start the program say 5 o'clock. So giving persons enough time to come in on, say, like on a Wednesday, because I know sometimes Wednesdays certain businesses close half day.
Very good.
So
Very,
we could
yeah.
do that on a
Yes.
Wednesday at maybe 5 o'clock or whatsoever. So to give persons time
So
to
persons
attend.
just need to manage time to make time.
Exactly.
Nice.
Definitely.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, folks, if you're just tuning in, Family Matters is on. We're on from, well, today we kicked off at 11:30, so I guess and the show is going to be excuse me, and every other Tuesday, right, Miss Body Max?
Yes, every other
Okay.
Tuesday, so
Okay.
we don't exhaust
All
on our
right. Okay.
topics.
So
Yes.
or unless if we have some real fire and we have to put that, address certain issues.
Yes.
There's a demand.
Yes.
So yes, folks. So again, it's the first for 2023. Family Matters is on, and you might be here. Well, you're hearing a voice for the first time. Well, I think that's your first radio show, right?
Yes.
There
it
you go
is.
again. Lovely voice. Miss Bodyman, she's here with us. Family case worker.
Worker.
All right.
Right.
So continue. Go ahead.
Okay. Before I continue with what I have on, I'd like to. I know it's in the middle of my show, but it would be remiss of me if I don't say anything now. I am aware, as a social worker and a parent, of the missing infant, the missing toddler from Soufriere.
Somebody asking something on Facebook.
And I have gone to the family for those who
Mhm.
are asking. Human Services, I'm representing the Division of Human Services. And of course, we have contacted the family. I personally paid a visit to the family yesterday, and it is heartbreaking.
Sad.
We
Very
have
sad.
offered our help. And of course, Human Services, we are there to offer psychological assistance right now, as far as we can do, because as this matter goes, it is a police matter. So we'll be working along with the police to try to locate the child, and of course we're going to work along with the family in offering them some psychological support. Okay, so for example, if they do have another search party, I wasn't aware of the first one.
Okay.
If they do have another such party, of course, I will surely be joining. If anything comes up where I've asked the mom, any family member who wants to do some debriefing, wants to speak, wants to some psychological support. Of course, I will not be doing it alone. I'm surely going to invite other persons because, as I've told you earlier, we are not counselors, we are social
Yeah.
workers.
Okay.
We do basic counseling. So, of course, to do a proper debriefing, we would have to bring a counselor on
Very
board.
good. Very good.
So, I help the family.
Boy, that is every
Okay.
parent's worst nightmare. Every
Definitely.
parent's worst
So,
nightmare.
yes. So I'm definitely trying to, well, I have reached out and I've asked them that in any way possible that I can assist, of course, I would love to
And
assist.
of course, all you in Radio Land, remember, well, would love that if you keep Edens in your prayer. Likewise, the family,
Definitely.
some kind of consolement, making sure that, it's tough time, but the Almighty never give you something you can't quite handle.
Right,
All right.
indeed.
Just stay prayed up.
And everybody, please offer prayers
Mhm.
to the family. Let's pray for a miracle that God indeed grants miracles. Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes. So moving along. Yes. We have, well, I have here just letting you know, okay, family case workers, we work with children from the ages of 0 to 18. Well, 18 is your cutoff point. So when you're 18, you're deemed an adult. So we won't be coming in to represent you. So
Sure.
we work 0 to
You
18.
can make your own decisions at
Okay,
that.
at 18.
Yes.
Yes. So we represent these children and we work along with the families, but we do not represent adults. So, for example, Mr. Ulan, if you're going through something with your girlfriend and you want to come to Human Services, we cannot help you. There, you will have to go to family courts.
Or counsel.
Oh, find a counselor,
Counselor.
right? So, find a counselor. Okay, persons who come to us for maintenance. We do not handle maintenance. Again, you have to go to the family court for that. If you want access to your child in terms of you want to visit your child, mommy is not allowing you visitation, this is what we work with. Okay, if a child is in a bad situation where, for example, a child is being abused and so on, this is where a social worker would come in to say, okay, this environment is not safe for the child. We will have to remove this child in this environment. But we work along with the family first before we remove a child from a family. It's only when we've exhausted all our resources
Right.
to find out family members' human resources, then we would remove a child and place somewhere else.
Also, what those delinquent children?
When you say delinquents, what do you mean?
I mean, movie and I know you have some children always off till they grown up already, always want to be out there,
we um we try to speak with them. We call them in. We try. Yeah. Again, one of the things that we have done working with children. Of course, we put them through counseling. For counseling, we refer them to the school counselor, and we also could see make up a contract with them and tell them, okay, so you have this curfew
Yes.
where you should not be out after a certain time. Okay, and they would sign that contract to say, okay, so we are going to stick to that, not be out there, and so on. So if this contract is broken, of course, with the contract, well, me, I'm not for other workers how they would go about it. Before we draw up the contract, of course, I would put my consequences of breaking the contract. So
Okay.
you already know beforehand what is
What
going to
if you
happen
violate?
if you violate your
All right.
contract. Okay, so these are some of the ways with delinquent children. Again, we work with the family. We will bring the parents on board as well to empower parents to work with their children.
Because the reason I ask you that, you hear some mothers, and I've heard it on multiple questions. Oh, T-boy, or T-fi, I'm pas happy. Huh? I mean, how can a parent say, that's your child? Again, child, underline that. Child. You're not
Yes.
an adult. You're not 18. You're on my roof, under my roof. You're getting fed from a child. Como é mo pas ti mamãe lá? Mo pas ya isa gua from isa gua tibay. Kine like koi pete. You heard of those things, right?
They refer to us, of course.
How do you deal with that kind of situation?
Again, we speak with the parents, we empower parents, and we tell them, I tell them boldly that you see, when a flower blooms, it grows from the ground up. So, what happens with a lot of parents who come with these children, they don't discipline the children properly, and they leave the children for teachers and other persons to discipline. So when they do come into us to tell us we cannot do anything with that child, we have to ask you as a parent, what have you done to discipline your child? What do you do? What's the method of discipline you use? What do you do to work with your child?
Some might tell you it's corporal punishment, and I do nothing for
Corporal
them.
punishment, no.
That's
Because
what they will
that
tell
is
you.
not
You can do coup affair.
because that is not all there is to it. Okay, so there where we come in to empower you for different discipline measures that you can use, just not corporal punishment. What about you take that? How many times have you tried taking the tablets away?
True.
How many times you put them in a quiet corner?
All what you love
Okay,
punish you
of
without
course.
touching you.
So there are different ways of dealing with a child, and you know your child best. Okay, so you need to find out what works for your child, right? So if you know that your child loves ice cream on a Sunday, okay, if you don't do what
Take it
you're
away from them.
supposed to, you're not going to get the ice cream. All right.
Now, the reason why, and as parents, I don't think it's healthy to actually show a child or let children know that you've given up on them.
Unfortunately, parents are saying it to them about sapo people wako.
It's like, but the child is actually here, like, I don't give up already.
Okay. Something I just realized that, of course, I am speaking to the public, and of course, I have spoken English. I have not spoken Creole at all to meet our our foster. So
Right.
I'm going to answer the host's and answers questions, and of course, I'm going to do some beating Creole. Okay. So parents, it is not a good feeling, or it's just not good to show a child that you have given up on them, because imagine your parents were to treat you this way, how would you feel? Okay, you don't do that. You find different ways of working with your child. This is your child you gave birth to. Okay, that you first of all, you need to take responsibility for that. You did something wrong. You started wrong. So go back, do some introspection. What did I do wrong? How did I do wrong? And moving forward, how can I help my child? If you have to go and get help from the counselor, from the social worker, from the teacher, you do so. Okay, but don't ever tell a child, okay, you have given up, because you showing that you have given up on the child too will give up on you and will not listen to you, will not do what you're asking. So of course you must not do that. And what is very important, as I was telling, I presented to some young ladies recently, and we were talking about the basic needs of children. Okay, what are the basic
Yes.
needs? And one of the most important basic need for a child, what would you say is
Love,
love?
attention,
Okay,
showing affection.
love, attention, affection, very much so. Parents, when was the last time you hugged your child? Parents, when was the last time you told your child, I love you? Okay, parents, when was the last time you had a one-on-one time? Put down the phone, put off Netflix. Okay, put up the outing and spend a day with your child. Okay, sit, read a book, do something that they love. If it's Netflix and chill, find a movie for them. Okay, do the popcorn if they like the caramel popcorn, the salt popcorn, whatever, you do it. Okay, this is mommy daughter time, or mommy son time, or mommy children time. Okay, you do that. Do an activity as a family. Make your child feel loved.
Games night.
Because games night, very good. Because most of the time, many children who act out as a teacher, I'm telling it to you from a teacher's perspective, also a social worker, that many children who act out, they act out because they want attention. They're looking for the attention. Okay.
And one of the worst thing is when children, not person, when children actually go seeking for love in the wrong
In the
places.
wrong places, exactly, because if they're not getting it at home, of course they will be looking for it. So on my next show, I'm going to this presentation that I did with this other group, I'm going to do this presentation here, where we are going to talk about the rights of a child, the rights of a parent, and with rights comes responsibilities, and so on. So that would be for my next show.
Very nice.
Yes.
Very nice. Very nice.
Okay.
Wow, is that time already? OMG.
Yes.
OMG. It's 3 minutes onto the hour. Hey, is it? Yeah, 3 minutes onto the hour 12 meeting. My goodness. I like when I have them shows, and the funny thing, boy, time is never against. Well, time is always against us. Eh, boy? It's like time is on steroids. We started on time, you know. Anyways, I
Okay.
guess go ahead, my
So,
love.
anyways, to end, I'm going to read some, well, call out some places that you could go to or call in the case of where you have some issues. So, for domestic violence, you report the matter to the police. The social worker comes in to work with the children of the victim. So, we do not work again, as I said, with the parents, but we work with the victims of the children. So, in case of domestic violence, you report the matter to the police. We could offer the parents counseling, and of course, we refer the matter. We work with the children of the household, the children. Okay.
Very nice.
If you have suicidal ideation, you call the 203 helpline. And suicidal ideation, you're thinking of killing yourself, you want to kill yourself. Okay. For maintenance, again, which I earlier mentioned, you go to family court. So family court deals with maintenance where you want Mr. Erline to pay to
Child
take care of
support.
his child,
Okay.
child support. So definitely you would go. And the number for that is 453-2839, family court 453-2839. For women who are, of course, domestic violence, again, if you are battered, you need help. So you call Women's Shelter 202. Okay. Also, you can call the Crisis Center 453-6848, 453-6848, or 453-152.
I will.
Sorry, 453-1521.
All right. I will tell you something. I'll say something to you. Throughout this year, God's willing, we have a lot to talk about. All right.
Yes.
Battered women, of course, mental health.
We have a lot to talk about.
The list goes on. There's so much to talk about inside this radio show. And I just hope we'll have time. We'll have time. If we start at 11, who knows? We can go in overdrive.
Okay.
All right, but I want to thank you, Ms. Bodymet, for taking the time out, being here. And like I been mentioned, be nice to see you throughout the year.
You will
All
be
right.
seeing me.
All right.
Yes.
Coming in to
So,
disseminate information,
definitely.
keeping the public abreast as to what's trending, what's happening, and that's gonna be good. All right. Again,
Okay.
I want to wish you an amazing Tuesday. Enjoy the balance of a Tuesday, and again, want to thank you and big up to your team for doing the collaborative effort to making this thing happen.
Okay, thank you so very much, sir.
You're welcome.
And I'd like to shout out the 1P2 crew, especially Jeffo from Sofre and Vincent, of course, from Sofre, and the others in Shuzel, Dara, Emo, and so on. Okay, and all the best, everyone.
All right.
Yes.
Bye, guys. Till next time. So we have it. Remember, it's every other Tuesday.
Every other Tuesday.
All right.
Yes.
Nice.
Okay.
We're out.
Nobody else do it like we